Hello everyone, I'm Zuyu Jojo. Today I'll walk you through the crocheting method for this piece. Since I'm planning to release a new red New Year's version using bright red yarn. Let me first explain the structure of this garment. This piece uses a top-down yoke crocheting method. After casting on here, we mark the positions for our 4 corners. Then we increase stitches accordingly. Keep increasing until reaching the proper underarm position. After that, we start crocheting in rounds for the underarm section. And finally add both sleeves. Now let me explain the pattern for this piece. From here all the way to this point, it's a half double crochet back and forth pattern. Then here we have some white jacquard woven in. And in this row we added a double crochet between 2 jacquard sections, which makes it slightly different, giving it a nicer look. Then moving to here, these 4 rows of green, gold, white, green, these 4 rows use another pattern, making it look slightly different, creating a nicely staggered effect. It alternates between single crochet and double crochet, then below that it's all our half double crochet pattern. But this red area, I might slightly adjust its pattern later, because I feel it's a bit too plain. I actually wanted to change it before, but this yarn is really hard to unravel, so I gave up. Well, overall it still looks coordinated, it's just not as varied. I might switch to a bobble stitch pattern later. It'll be more textured and look better. Then below that, it's our regular half double crochet worked back and forth in rounds. And at the hem area, there are increases and decreases at the hem, creating a wavy shape for the hem. Small pointed shapes, one after another, which makes it look more playful. Our sleeves don't have much variation. All worked in half double crochet back and forth. It's just that my sleeves are color contrasted, while the other half of the sleeve is solid color. This is the overall structure of the sweater. Now I'll use red yarn too. Demonstrate our crocheting method for everyone. Let me give you a quick overview first. I'll explain how we cast on and increase for this sweater. How we start and add stitches. Let me sketch it out for you first. We start casting on from here. One side has 32 stitches, the other side has 24 stitches. 24 here, and 16. We start casting on from here, then crochet towards this side, and this side. 16 stitches here, up to 17 stitches, leave 17 stitches. Then we add 24 stitches after that, making it 42 stitches total. Then add another 75 stitches here. Up to this point it's exactly 100 stitches. Add 16 more, and by the ending point we reach 116 stitches. So in total we need to cast on 116 stitches, and we'll place stitch markers at the 17th, 42nd, 75th, and 100th stitches. These are where we'll do increases later. And in between these markers we'll work half double crochets. Let me demonstrate. First, we need to start with 116 chain stitches. Okay, we've completed the 116 chain stitches. After that, we begin the first row by working even with a row of half double crochets. For half double crochets, after making the chain stitches, we first make 2 chain stitches, then yarn over and work back to crochet 1 half double crochet. This counts as our first stitch. Normally, we should pick up the front loop only. Picking the front loop means when we yarn over, we can see this chain. Can you see it? When we flip this chain over, there's a small bump on it. These small bumps are the front loops, which are the positions we need to pick up, but I find picking the front loop too troublesome, so I don't really like it. Instead, I just crochet directly. Now this is our first stitch, and we continue to crochet the second stitch. 3, 4. We keep crocheting until the 17th stitch, where we place a stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've crocheted 16 stitches so far. 16 stitches, and now I'm crocheting the 17th stitch. After completing the 17th stitch, we add a stitch marker here. This is where we need to increase stitches starting from the next row. Let's mark it. I'll mark it here, and then we'll crochet 24 half double crochets. Place a stitch marker at the 42nd stitch, then crochet 32 more stitches after increasing. Then crochet, place another stitch marker here at the 75th stitch, then increase 24 more stitches, and when we reach the 100th stitch, we add another stitch marker, then continue to the ending point. After finishing here, I'll demonstrate for everyone again. Okay, we've completed this row of half double crochets. Let me show you the stitch markers we placed here. A total of 116 stitches. Now we'll join them together. We don't join before finishing the chain stitches because it tends to curl. So I usually finish a whole row first before joining. We're at the position of the first stitch. At the position of the first stitch we just made, we insert the hook. Then slip stitch to connect. Okay, now they're connected. And to make it more secure, you can use this same strand to connect the bottom part as well. Later we'll need to crochet the neckline here on top. So actually it's fine whether you tie it or not. If you feel it's not secure enough, you can tie it. Okay, after we've connected the top part, we'll start increasing stitches at each stitch marker position. First, make 2 beginning chains. All our patterns are worked in half double crochets, but we need to work back and forth. We just crocheted from this side, now we need to flip this piece over. After flipping this piece over, you can see we have a chain stitch on top here. And in this row it looks like this, also a chain stitch. When inserting the hook, we need to go through the middle of these 2 chains. And there's a chain on top of this. Going through here to crochet. It's actually more convenient for us to find the stitches. Then we start crocheting half double crochets. Okay, after crocheting to this point, we've reached the stitch marker position. First, remove the stitch marker. Now I'll demonstrate how to increase stitches. We'll work 4 half double crochets in the same stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2, then chain 2. Continue. 3, 4, okay, this is where we increase. Then we'll continue with normal half double crochets. Crochet half double crochets all the way in this row until reaching the increase spot. We'll work it the same way. Then we keep crocheting until here, slip stitch. Then make 2 turning chains and turn the workpiece to crochet until reaching the increase spot from the previous row. Here we just work normally, meaning we crochet row by row as usual. Then when reaching the big hole, we work 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets in this hole, which means increasing continuously in this same hole. After finishing the increases, this is how each corner looks, with the added effect at every corner. It will keep getting bigger and bigger. Then we can crochet the underarm section. This is our stitch pattern and increase method. Let me explain again. When we increase stitches every row, well, since it's 4 stitches here, I think this particular stitch is actually part of this stitch. I don't think it's good to crochet here, so I just skip this stitch increase. Normally we'd increase 4 stitches per row. So for this stitch, meaning after skipping here, let me demonstrate first. I skipped this stitch, meaning I didn't increase here. I just crocheted directly into this hole. So I crocheted 2 stitches, then 2 chain stitches, then 2 more stitches. It looks like we added 4 stitches. But actually I skipped 1 stitch in the previous row's stitch. So effectively we only increased 3 stitches per row. Okay, after that, in this row I'll work normally, by skipping 1 stitch before the increasing section. Then work even without increases afterward, like this. Then it's the same here. I skip this stitch ahead, which I think is not easy to crochet. So I just skip this stitch directly and crocheted straight into this hole. Okay, this is what you need to pay attention to when increasing. It actually doesn't affect much, and overall it makes crocheting simpler. Alright, after completing 6 rows of increases, we'll start working on our pattern. After these 6 increasing rows, it should look like this. I just folded it in half. This is where we increase stitches on each row, at these 4 corners. Then we fold it over to form the square neckline. Next, I'll demonstrate for you how we crochet with the color changing yarn. On the 7th row, we'll add our white pattern. Adding the white pattern using this crocheting method, let me demonstrate. We continue to cast on here. Then turn over, we start crocheting 8 stitches, not counting the beginning chain. We crochet directly into the first stitch here, that's the first stitch. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, when we reach the 8th stitch, here we yarn over. Okay, we don't pull it through yet, we'll switch to white yarn later. Let me show you. This is where the little baubles are on the green piece. Our baubles span 3 rows. The first row is 1 stitch, the second row is 3 stitches, and the third row is 1 stitch again. It actually forms a small diamond shape. When we crochet here, if we carry the yarn across, if we just pull the yarn straight across, all 3 rows would be too long, and it wouldn't look nice. So for each bauble, I use a separate piece of yarn. 1 piece per bauble. Let me demonstrate. After reaching this point, you can work with 2 strands or single strand. My green one was worked with double strands held together. Working with double strands makes the yarn look more firmly stuffed. Let me demonstrate the double strands held together technique. Because this circle yarn is relatively thinner, compared to our golden thread yarn, we'll work with double strands here, carrying the yarn across from this point. Like this. After carrying the yarn across, we make 1 stitch only. Hold the yarn underneath. For this stitch, we'll switch to red yarn carried across. So it creates a complete stitch, without white showing on top or at the back. This is our first stitch. You can see how much yarn length was used for the first stitch. For example, I pinch it here and pull it out. 1 stitch probably uses about 8 to 10 centimeters of yarn. Then we need to make 5 more white stitches. For 5 stitches, we'll leave approximately 2, 3, 4, 5. We leave about this much length. Roughly the length of an arm. That's enough. You can leave a bit more if you're worried it won't be enough. For example, if I leave it here, I'll cut it off. This is the length for our first little ball. Let's go back here and continue. Thread the white yarn through. Alright, just leave a little bit. Then yarn over at the next loop. Bring the white yarn over and press it underneath first so it doesn't loosen. Alright, after bringing the white yarn over, we don't work with the white, we switch to red and continue crocheting. Alright, that's our white part. Then we leave this yarn there to crochet the next 2 rows. This way, the yarn won't pull on the next one, or the next little ball. And it won't tighten the previous yarn, which would look messy. Once we finish crocheting, we'll hide the extra yarn tails, and then cut them off. Now, this is the 9th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we continue with 8 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. For the 8th stitch, yarn over. Then we find our white yarn. Use 2 strands for all. Bring the yarn over. After bringing it over, make 1. Bring it over, then switch to red yarn. Draw through the loop. And we do the same with the white yarn. You can match the length to the previous one, roughly the same length. Good, then cut it. So for each of these little balls, we leave the yarn this long. This ensures that in the next 2 rows, we can directly use this yarn to crochet, without having to pull the yarn to the next pattern. If you pull it like that, the whole round would look messy. And it's also easy to cause puckering. Good, this is our crocheting method. And when we reach the corner, let me demonstrate again. Then here we continue with 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, then here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're supposed to increase here, so we'll do it right here. It's not very easy to crochet, so we can skip 2 stitches, because it's not strictly required to have exactly 8 stitches. I'll skip these 2 stitches for you. Okay, we're going to crochet the next stitch here. When it's white, we need to bring the white yarn over first. Same thing, we bring the white yarn over. After bringing it over, pull the red yarn a bit to make it tighter. Good, after bringing it over, same as before, yarn over, then pull through the next loop. Press the extra yarn underneath to prevent it from loosening. Good, after yarn over, same thing with the red yarn. Use the red yarn to yarn over. You can also pull the white yarn a bit, then for this yarn, same thing, leave about the same length. Then cut it off. So this entire round follows this crocheting method. We leave the white yarn out. Then same here, we crochet 8 stitches with the red yarn. Yarn over, bring it over, then switch to red yarn. Good, that's the crocheting method. Then when we reach the next corner, it meets the 4 increase stitches position again. You can skip it. For the next horizontal stitch, you don't need to do the pattern at the increase, decrease position. It won't affect the overall effect much, but it will be more convenient for crocheting. Then here we also need to cut the corresponding yarn. Good, that's it. When we get to the next row, I'll demonstrate how to continue with this white yarn. Actually the method is the same, I'll finish this row first. Okay, let me show you what it looks like after we finish this round. Each white part has a little tail, which is convenient for crocheting the next 2 rows. Now I'll turn it over to continue crocheting for you and demonstrate how to crochet the next row. Okay, after we yarn over, we can see there's 1 red stitch, 1 white stitch, and 1 red stitch. We need to work single crochets on all 3 of these, all in white. So after we yarn over, we place the red yarn behind here. Then we bring the white yarn over. After bringing it over, we go through this red stitch. We bring the yarn over first. Okay, yarn over and go through this red stitch. You can see it here. Go through this red stitch. Then we bring the yarn over, this is the first stitch. Then go through the white stitch here, which might be clearer to see. This white stitch here. We go through the second stitch. Then yarn over and go through the red stitch, bring the yarn over. Okay, this is our third stitch, and the reserved yarn left is just enough for the next part. Okay, bring the red yarn over. There will be a little yarn tail here, but it's not a big deal. Then we continue crocheting normally. Continue normally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6th stitch. Here you can see we have 3 stitches, red, white, red. Turn the fabric over. Then find this reserved yarn. Bring the yarn over. Gently tighten the red yarn slightly. Okay, same as before, go through this red, white, red, the red stitch we just made. Now we thread it through, and bring the yarn over. Then for the white stitch, bring the yarn over. Okay, for the red stitch, bring the yarn over. Don't yarn over anymore. Just turn it over, Then we'll yarn over with red. Looking at the right side. There's not a big issue, I forgot to yarn over just now. Use a thinner needle to thread the yarn through. Otherwise, the front won't look nice now. Okay, this is what it looks like on the right side. On the wrong side there will be a yarn. But it's not particularly noticeable on the wrong side. Then on the next row, there are 3 white stitches. It might not be very clear. This is the first one. This is the first, this is the second. This is the third. Then we'll crochet the white in this second stitch. It's like 1 stitch here, 3 stitches here, then 1 stitch below here. It will form a small diamond shape, but actually the white circle yarn isn't very noticeable. It just looks like a little ball. Okay, this is the crochet method for our second row. The rest doesn't change much. After completing this pattern, I'll explain the next pattern's crochet method. Alright, after we finish here, I'll continue to demonstrate for you. After completing this white jacquard, we'll crochet 3 rows. Normally crochet the red for 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows down. Then we reach the ending point. This is our right side. The wrong side is what we left earlier, but it's still messy now. Then you can take out our scissors. We'll leave the extra yarn tails slightly shorter and then cut them off. Then we'll hide these yarn tails into the white part, so it won't look so messy. I left this one uncut to demonstrate for you. All these yarn tails should be cut short. Then we'll use a thinner crochet hook. With a thinner crochet hook, we'll tuck them in. You can hide them wherever you can insert the hook. Because this white circle yarn isn't very noticeable, hiding them this way isn't particularly easy. You can find any spot to insert the hook, as long as it doesn't affect the front side. You can barely see it on the front. So we'll tuck this yarn tail in. Same here, wherever you can insert the hook, just tuck it in. Then leave it slightly shorter before cutting, and it won't be noticeable. This is what the right side looks like. And our neckline is like this. On the right side, it looks neat and barely shows any signs. After completing these 3 rows, we'll start the next pattern row. For the next pattern row, we'll also use our white yarn. For the body pattern, I mostly use single strand except for those fluffy little balls, because it looks lighter this way. But if you prefer a thicker pattern, you can use 2 strands. Okay, let me demonstrate this for you. Take out our yarn. Here. For this row pattern, we work single crochets and double crochets, only making double crochets where needed. The pattern is all single crochets here. Then we work a double crochet between 2 pattern repeats. Let me demonstrate this for you. Here we normally work single crochets, and you can see the middle position. Because when working this upper row, The basic principle is 8 stitches per repeat, but there might be some variations at increase points or ending sections. So we just add it in the middle. For example, with these 2 stitches I'm working now, the middle position is roughly here. Actually, this stitch is already at the middle. After completing one, we work a double crochet at this position, which starts with a yarn over. Then we don't work in this stitch, but in the one below it. We insert the hook into the corresponding stitch below. Then pull up a loop and work a double crochet. After completing the double crochet, we continue working single crochets. Keep working single crochets all the way to the middle between the next 2 pattern repeats. When working these single crochets, we need to ensure we're working from the right side. Because when worked from the right side, it creates this pattern, while the wrong side looks slightly messier, so we need to be mindful of this. Since our red yarn is worked back and forth, we need to pay attention when working this row. Then we take a quick look at this point. For example, if this stitch is in the middle position, we'll work one more stitch here. Then I think this position is about right, so I'll work a double crochet here. Find the corresponding stitch, and I'll work a single crochet here. Then for this double crochet, there isn't a specific rule, because if you had left 9 stitches at that point, you could find the middle stitch. Since I left 8 stitches, there are 3 stitches on each side in the middle. With 3 stitches on each side, when matched up, I can't work exactly in the middle. So it's either the 3rd stitch on this side, or the 4th stitch on that side. So I usually check the approximate middle position and work there. There's no specific stitch to determine. Okay, after completing this stitch, we'll continue working single crochets. Then you can see here, my color work is on this side of the increase. And this one is on the other side of the increase. When we crochet, we just need to roughly find the middle position. At the middle position, we'll work a double crochet. Okay, then continue working single crochets. When we reach the corner increase position with single crochets, in this little hole, we'll work 5 single crochets. It's the same here. Can you see this stitch clearly? After we work this stitch, technically according to the increase rule we should add one. But I think finding this exact stitch is a bit tricky, so we'll skip the increase for this one. However, in this little hole, in the previous row, we worked 2 half double crochets, 2 chain stitches and 2 half double crochets here. So in this little hole, we'll just work 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then when we increase in the next row, for these 5 single crochets, we'll work the first 2 and last 2 normally. But for the middle single crochet, we'll increase here. Using the same method as below, 2 half double crochets and 2 chain stitches. The first 2 and last 2 stitches of these 5 can just be worked as regular half double crochets. Then it's the same here, same crocheting method. And this pointed shape. Check out the effect, it looks like this. I'll turn it over. It creates a pointed shape effect. If you feel single strand is too thin, you can also use double strands. Using double strands held together will make it thicker and look nicer. It's up to your preference. There's actually a pointed shape here. If you think it looks a bit plain, you can add one here. I didn't add any here. I went straight to the next section, adding between the 2 pattern repeats. Just add wherever you think looks best and most balanced. The principle for this row is actually single crochets. As for double crochets, you can add them wherever you like. Now you can see the difference between double strands and single strand. Double strands look more firmly stuffed, while single strand appears more clean and simple. It's all about your personal preference. After completing this row of white yarn, we'll normally work red half double crochets, just like the previous pattern. Remember to work from the right side, because we have 2 rows of half double crochets here. Then we'll add a new pattern row consisting of single crochet and double crochet, which means we'll work 3 rows of red in total. Now I've reached the corner. Now I'll demonstrate how to increase stitches for you. The previous stitches are all normal half double crochets. At the corner, there are 5 single crochets, though it might not be very clear. Let me show you more clearly. We work 1 stitch here. Can you see it clearly? There's a small V shape right here. This small V shape counts as 1 stitch. And here, 2 stitches. 3 stitches. 4 stitches. 5 stitches. If you really can't see the white stitches clearly, I suggest adding a stitch marker to each stitch when working with white yarn. That way it will be much easier to see. Now let me explain how to work these 5 stitches. For the first 2 stitches, we work them normally. 1, 2. Now, when working the 3rd stitch, we increase in the 3rd stitch. 1 stitch, same stitch. 2 stitches. Then 2 chain stitches, in the same stitch, 3 stitches. Same stitch, 4 stitches. Okay, this is how we increase in the middle of these 5 stitches. Then we continue working normal half double crochets afterward. Just the 4th and 5th stitches here. Okay, this is the 5 stitches at the corner position. Here 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, total 5 stitches. The rest we work normally. Just work the half double crochets in each stitch. After hooking with white yarn, it's not very easy to find the stitches. If you really can't find them, look at the red one below. Match up with it, the red part corresponds to the stitch. This will make it easier to find. That's it. After working this row, this is the effect we get. It's like inserting the red yarn in between the white. This is the crocheting method for this row. Then the next row is working half double crochets back and forth. The method is the same. When we reach the next row, where the pattern needs to change, I'll explain it again. After completing 2 rows of red, it looks like this. Next, we'll work the golden yellow pattern. Let me show you the green one. Our golden yellow pattern looks like this. 1 row of green here. Then 1 row of golden yellow. Followed by 1 row of white. Then another row of green, these 4 groups. These 4 rows form a group. The crocheting method for these 4 rows is the same, which is single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. Then this row also matches with double crochet. Work single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. Then single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. Staggered like this, including this green row as well. Then below we just crochet back and forth normally with the green. Okay, now I'll demonstrate our stitch technique. After completing here, we were originally working on the wrong side, crocheting back like this. Then we turn the piece over. After turning it over, you can start with double crochet or single crochet first. I've already made 2 chain stitches, so I'll make 1 more and then work a double crochet. The starting chains don't count, we insert the hook into the corresponding stitch, then make a double crochet, then work a single crochet. It will be slightly staggered here. No problem, it will even out when we work the next row. Then another double crochet here. And a single crochet. This is the crocheting method we follow as we work down. Then when we reach the increase point, I'll demonstrate it again. Whether you're working double crochet or single crochet, when you get here, you'll always make a double crochet in this hole. It just happens to match up perfectly here. Even if you worked a double crochet here, it's fine. You still make a double crochet. We're making double crochets to increase in this hole, which means yarn over and work a double crochet, 2 double crochets, then 2 chain stitches, followed by another double crochet, 2 double crochets. That's it, we just wrap around like this. After finishing the double crochet here, our next stitch will be a single crochet. No matter whether your last stitch here is a double crochet or single crochet, you make a double crochet here. Then after completing the double crochet, the next stitch here will always be a single crochet. And then for the next stitch we make another double crochet, followed by a single crochet. This is our crocheting method here. It might bulge a bit here, but that's okay. When we work on the next row, it will even out. This is the crocheting method for the next 4 rows. Just crochet in rounds. Let me demonstrate it briefly for you. Say I cast on some stitches randomly. I'll start casting on at any spot. When you crochet around later, you'll begin casting on from here. For demonstration purposes, I'm starting at a random spot. So when we get to the next row of yellow, the previous row here was single crochet. So for this row, I'm going to work double crochet, three chain stitches. You don't need to do it here, but start casting on here. I'm just picking a random spot here. After casting on, we work into the actual hole itself. The cast on doesn't count. Make a double crochet, then the corresponding single crochet, meaning the stitch of the double crochet from the previous row, we work single crochet. For the single crochet stitch of the previous row, we work double crochet. Double crochet stitch gets single crochet stitch gets double crochet. This way it evens it out. It's like filling in the previous row, like this. Since this yarn is hard to unravel, I'll just work a bit to demonstrate. We work in staggered pattern like this, then when we get to the next white row, same thing. Our yellow single crochet corresponds to double crochet corresponds to single crochet, then for the red row, it's double crochet to single crochet to double crochet. After completing the red row with single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, the next row we'll work half double crochet directly. Then we'll work 2 rows of half double crochet. We'll start the next pattern. I'll demonstrate the next pattern for you then. Alright, after completing these 4 rows of pattern, then we'll work 2 more rows of half double crochet, and the half double crochet is worked back and forth normally. Next, I'll demonstrate the following crochet method. After working up to this point, the bust measurement has reached 53. The single side bust measurement is already 53, so the full bust measurement is 106, which is quite suitable. So from now on, I won't be increasing stitches anymore. If your bust measurement hasn't reached over 50 yet, you can continue working with the normal method. Now, let me explain to you, if you're working with the normal method. Because in the next row, the next pattern, leave a bit more here, 3 stitches here and 3 stitches there. If you leave a bit more, It will look more balanced and nicer. If you've been increasing stitches, but haven't reached a bust measurement over 50 yet, you can continue increasing stitches on both sides. Use the same crochet method, work half double crochet, until you reach the 5th row, then you can start the next pattern set. And if you're like me, up to this point, the bust measurement is already over 50, specifically 53. Then from now on, we'll only work the right side, so these two sides won't be worked, only the front side and back. Let me explain this again, because our neckline will have a drop. So for example, pull it forward a bit, meaning move this sweater slightly forward, to create a drop at the neckline. Then you can see the drop at the back. When working here, we'll temporarily skip the front part, and first work the back by turning it over. After turning, you can count based on the open work above, which is about 5 to 6 rows. I'll work 5 more rows here. After finishing up to this point, we'll fasten off the yarn. Fasten off the yarn, starting from either end. Check how many stitches you have up to this point, since we'll be working back and forth. For example, I was working in this direction just now, following this direction to crochet. When working the next row, I need to continue in this direction. Let me check, yes, following this direction, crocheting this way, so I'll insert the hook from this end, only inserting here. Then crochet back and forth, working only the back body. Keep working until it's level with the front body. At the position where it's flat with the front, then we'll join them. I'll demonstrate this first. Chain 1 stitch and fasten off the yarn. After fastening off the yarn, I was working in this direction just now. Now we'll flip it over, and work from this direction. You can see clearly. When crocheting, pay attention to the position where you insert the hook. From the right side it looks like a V, and from the top it also looks like a V. Insert through the middle of the V on the right side, going through both top V's. This is your crocheting direction. For example, if you work to the middle and need a break, when you return, you might forget which direction to crochet next. Check the V on the right side, and the V above it. You insert the hook here, there's no V when flipped. When flipped, it looks like this. The normal stitch looks like this. You can tell the difference. Now insert the hook here. Insert into this hole and make 1 stitch. The turning chain doesn't count. Okay, make 1 stitch. 1/2 double crochet. Next, work 1/2 double crochet in each stitch as usual. We're planning to crochet 5 rows here. Let me show you the approximate drop after 5 rows. While crocheting, you can observe this. For example, counting up here, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, meaning my neckline should be around this position. If you feel 5 rows aren't enough, if this position seems too short, just add another row. I think 6 rows should fit properly. Going further down might make the neckline too big. It won't look particularly nice. Plus, we'll be adding a white neckline later here. So I think 5 or 6 rows would be appropriate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 rows would be better. Then, corresponding to these 6 rows, the bottom part is also around 6 rows. After finishing crocheting, we'll join it with the front body here. I'll explain how to join them later. Let's finish these 6 rows first. The crocheting method remains the same. There aren't any major changes here. Alright, after completing these 6 rows on the back body, we'll directly locate the corresponding right side. Flip over to the corresponding stitch on the right side. Find it. We'll directly slip stitch into those holes here. Slip stitch over. Okay, after slip stitching, we've joined them together. This part here will be our cuffs. Later, we'll first work a round of single crochets around the cuffs, which makes it convenient to start crocheting, either sleeves or half double crochets. We'll simply crochet normally on these stitches. Then at the half double crochet positions, just work 2 half double crochets per row, that's all. I'll demonstrate this later for everyone. After we've joined this side, we'll normally crochet the front and back bodies in rounds. We can check this difference here. After 6 rows, this difference at the neckline. I think the width is just about right. After joining here, we'll start crocheting in rounds. When we crochet up to this point, just join it normally. You can also find the yarn here and tie a knot. Or wait until later when crocheting past this point to tie it, right after we've joined here, since we need to match the front body for the pattern. We just did 3 rows, now we'll crochet 2 more rows. 5 rows would be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this wide. If 5 rows seem too wide, you can choose to crochet 4 rows instead, because this pattern doesn't have a strict boundary. You can decide how many rows to crochet as needed. Just go with what looks good and fits well for you. Let's crochet 4 rows first to see how it turns out. If it's not right, we'll add a 5th row after joining here. Just start with a chain stitch. Make 2 chain stitches. Then begin crocheting our half double crochet. When you have 1 stitch left at this point, yarn over and pull through the last stitch. Then pass through the stitch on this side as well. Then pull the yarn through together. Work 1 half double crochet to join them. After joining, continue crocheting regular half double crochets. Connect the front and back bodies. We just finished the back body, now we'll work on the front body. For the front body, also crochet regular half double crochets. We can work a few rows first. Then we'll see whether this area needs 4 or 5 rows of red pattern. Okay, we can temporarily flip it over. Move it forward a bit. You can see here we crocheted 3 rows of pattern, which is about this width for 3 rows. Next, we'll crochet 1 round of white half double crochets first. 3 rows will be a bit tighter, and this is 4 rows. Actually, I think 4 rows would work too, and if you feel the width isn't quite right, you can do 5 rows. Let's finish these 4 rows first. Then check if we need a 5th row. Or I can demonstrate first. I'll make 2 beginning chains. Turn it over. I won't crochet too many, as it's really hard to undo the yarn if I do. I'll crochet about 10 stitches. That should be enough to see the effect. Okay, let's turn it over. Let's take a look again. The hook slipped out. This is the effect of 3 rows. This is 4 rows. And this is 5 rows. Honestly, I think 4 rows look just fine. Because 5 rows might look a bit too long. It's up to your preference. For the next row, it'll be white, blue, and white again, creating a pattern about this length and width. So I think 4 rows here work pretty well. It's your call. I'm planning to do 4 rows. After finishing this row, I'll show you how to crochet the next pattern row. Once these 4 rows are completed, we'll switch to white yarn. Then we'll work half double crochets the same way. After finishing the white row, we'll switch to blue yarn, and I'll demonstrate how to crochet the blue pattern. Okay, after completing these 4 rows, I crocheted 1 round of white, and I think this width fits properly. If you feel this width isn't enough, you can choose to do 5 rows instead. After finishing this white round, we'll begin the blue pattern. Let me show you how the blue pattern is crocheted. All the white sections on my garment body were worked with 2 strands. I think using 2 strands makes it more firmly stuffed. If you find it too thick, you can choose to work with single strand instead. Pull tight the white yarn. Pull the blue yarn to the desired length. Then make 3 chain stitches. Once organized, we'll start working our pattern. This stitch might not be very clear to see, so please look carefully while watching, or view it from above. It has a small V shape. Or if you can't see clearly, look from below at the stitch of the previous row. It aligns here, like this is my first stitch. Our pattern starts by working the back first, 3 stitches as a group. We work the last 2 stitches first, then go back to work the first stitch. Temporarily skip the first stitch, start with the second stitch. Work 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. Then yarn over back to the first stitch. Pull the thread through and enlarge the loop. Then wrap the yarn 3 times through the same stitch. This is a half double crochet bobble stitch. We wrap the yarn 3 times. It's like this, we pull all the loops through at once. Okay, that's our pattern complete. Then skip the next stitch. The next stitch is here. You can see this stitch has been pulled through. The previous one corresponds to this, and the one below matches this red part. Then this red part here shows it's the first stitch. Then we don't work this stitch. We find the next stitch, which is the red one that lines up. That's the next stitch we need to work. The white yarn isn't very easy to spot the stitches. One stitch, 2 stitches. Okay, yarn over and go back to this stitch. Back to the first stitch, yarn over once. Twice. 3 times, then pull all the loops through at once. It forms a puff stitch shape. Then same as before, skip the first stitch. Don't work the first stitch here, start from the second stitch. One stitch. 2 stitches. Then come back to the position of the first stitch. Enlarge the loop. Enlarge the loop. Enlarge the loop again. Pull all the loops through at once. Okay, this is the crochet method. This row is indeed a bit hard to find the stitch loops, so crochet a bit slower. Find the stitch loops before inserting the hook. Actually, the stitch technique isn't difficult. It's just really hard to locate them. Okay, this is the pattern for our blue area. After completing this blue round, we'll work another round in white. After finishing the white, we move on to the lower part of the body. The body section will be all in red, crocheting all the way up to the lace trim. I'll demonstrate it for you later. For the green one, I didn't make the puff stitch pattern with red here. So I added a pattern here, which I think makes it look more firmly stuffed. Then after finishing white, here comes red, followed by white again. Corresponding to white, blue, white here. Then moving on here, this part is all normal crochet in rounds, working half double crochets back and forth in rounds all the way down to the hem. Crocheting until reaching those wavy positions at the hem. I'll demonstrate how to switch our stitch techniques later. For now, just start crocheting, after finishing the back and forth rounds. Next I'll show you how to crochet the wavy pattern at the hem. While crocheting this section, the length depends on how long you want your sweater to be. Mine is a cropped style, so I stopped around the belly button level, approximately from the bottom edge to the belly button position, then I fastened off. And started crocheting the wavy pattern. After finishing the waves, it should cover the belly area, reaching the waistline of your pants. Now let me show you this green one first. I'll briefly explain how this wavy pattern is structured. The top part uses regular half double crochets. When starting the waves, this section requires decreased stitches. Then this section needs increased stitches. Decreased stitches create the upward wave curve, while increased stitches make it spread outward. The more rows you add, the bigger the wave pattern becomes. Let me write it down on paper to make it clearer for you. After finishing this sweater, both front and back bodies have 98 stitches each. Both sides have 98 stitches, so multiplied by 2 gives 196 stitches total. That's the total stitch count for one full round of the sweater. For the previous green one with 96 stitches, I made 8 pattern repeats, which created 8 little ball decorations. If calculating based on 8 pattern repeats, dividing 96 stitches by 8 gives 24.5. Since we can't work with half stitches, I rounded down to 24 stitches, making each pattern repeat consist of 24 stitches. 24 stitches per pattern repeat multiplied by 8 gives 192 stitches, leaving 4 extra stitches. You can work those 4 stitches following the same pattern rhythm. These 4 stitches won't significantly affect the overall garment, and even after completing the whole sweater, you might not land exactly on 98 stitches, because depending on your body shape and your hand tension while crocheting, the required width may vary for each person, but the general logic remains the same. Calculate the total stitch count first, then divide by your desired number of pattern repeats. For example, if you think 8 motifs are too few, and you want 10 motifs, then divide by 10. If you think 8 motifs are too many and want 6, divide by 6. Then you'll figure out how your pattern should look. Here I plan to use 24 stitches as one pattern repeat. So how do these 24 stitches form? First, we need to locate where to increase and decrease stitches. For decrease areas, I use 3 single crochets to decrease 1 stitch. Then for increase areas, we work double crochets where increases happen. Here it's 1 stitch becoming 3 stitches, and here 3 stitches becoming 1 stitch. But when calculating, we follow this pattern above to determine what we need. For example, with 24 stitches, we divide these 24 into these pattern repeats to crochet, then at the beginning and end of increases, we do it gradually. Because here it's single crochet, here it's double crochet, we need to decrease slowly here, and here also decreases gradually. Then we work double crochets here. Next we also do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets. We can roughly calculate, here is 5, here is 4. And this side is symmetrical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Then you can see my stitch count here. This is 1 stitch. Yes, 9, here is 19 stitches. 19 stitches, plus 3 stitches decreased into 1, makes 22 stitches. Okay, I have 22 stitches here, but I originally needed to work 24 stitches. So I'll work 1 single crochet here and 1 single crochet here. You should be able to understand. Here is single crochet, here is double crochet, here is half double crochet, here is single crochet. Work 1 here, work 1 here. And together it makes exactly 24 stitches. If your stitch count isn't the same as this 24, then it might be different from mine. It's okay if mine is different. Our principle is to first find the middle stitch, the one that increases from 1 stitch to 3 stitches, and then we need symmetry on both sides. For example, I could vary it here. I have 5 double crochets here, so I could work 3 half double crochets and then 2 single crochets, and I can still increase to 24 stitches. The principle is that we first find the middle point, then spread out to both sides, and this forms one group, because when we start the next group, we'll decrease 3 stitches into 1. Work the next pattern. This is the hems method to create a wavy shape. Now I'll give a simple demonstration. You can start your foundation chain at any position, meaning anywhere among these 24 stitches. Just connect it approximately. For example, I could start at 3 single crochets, or even at 3 half double crochets, or 4 half double crochets. I'll show you how. But to make it easier for everyone to see, I'll start from the beginning here. We'll decrease 3 single crochets into 1, so first make a beginning chain, then find the position of 3 single crochets. Here's 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets, 3 single crochets. Okay, decrease these 3 single crochets into 1 stitch. That's our first stitch. Then we'll work 2 more single crochets. I'll adjust this slightly. Let's change it to 2, 4, 4 instead. This might look more balanced. When your half double crochets and double crochets are slightly more balanced, it will look better. Here it's 2, 4, 4, and here it's 4, 4, 2. Here are 10 stitches, here are 10 stitches. Then here's 1 stitch, here's 1 stitch, that's exactly it. Here are 4 stitches, these are 3 stitches, and then I have 24 stitches total. Next we'll work 2 single crochets. Just now we decreased 3 stitches into 1, now it's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, then we'll work 1 half double crochet. We're at the first stitch here. If you're a beginner, I suggest adding a stitch marker, so you won't lose track of where you did the 3 single crochets into 1. This is where you did 3 single crochets into 1. Okay, now 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 4 half double crochets, Okay, now work 4 double crochets. After completing 4 double crochets, we'll start working 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. That makes 3 total, adding 2, working all in the same stitch, 1, 2, 3. Then go back and work 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, then work 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 half double crochets completed, work 2 single crochets. 1, 2, okay. This is the first pointed shape of our entire wave pattern, right at this position. It's still quite short now, but as you keep crocheting row by row, adding more, it will get a bit longer. And the reason I didn't switch to treble crochet here is because I feel like half double crochets and double crochets already make big enough holes. If we use treble crochets, the holes would be even bigger, which I really don't like. If you're okay with it, you can change those 3 double crochets to treble crochets, which would make more pointed shapes. This is how we normally follow the pattern to crochet. Then when we get to the hem below, I want to emphasize something again, because I actually had to unravel the hem once before. When I was crocheting it, there were 2 things you need to pay attention to. One is where we cast on under the arm, which is this underarm position. When I cast on, I started from where we normally fasten off with single crochets. And what happened was, it made the underarm area look a bit like this. It would tilt inward slightly, and create a bump. Then when wearing the garment, there would be a noticeable separation between the top and bottom parts, making the bump look unattractive. So when you crochet, cast on with double crochets, specifically at the peak position. The second point is we must remember all patterns are worked back and forth, including when crocheting the hem below, always back and forth. If you accidentally work 2 consecutive rows right side or 2 consecutive rows wrong side, it will create a layered effect, meaning the top part separates from the bottom part, resulting in an unattractive finish. It creates an inward tapering effect. But of course, if you like that look, it's acceptable. When it tapers inward, it creates a slight lace-like, bud-shaped appearance like this. Alternatively, if you want it flatter, keep your hands loose when crocheting the pointed hem. Especially when decreasing stitches, maintain loose tension, so it lies flat. Otherwise, it will curl up like this. Some curling is inevitable since you're decreasing stitches. Just keeping your hands loose makes it easier to smooth out when blocking. If you don't do that, it might puff out. I'm quite satisfied with this piece because it's relatively flat. The underarm area uses double crochet stitches, so the little bumps are also at the underarm area, matching the corresponding stitches, so I think it fits properly. This is just a suggestion for everyone. After crocheting this row, we normally continue with 3 stitches together, and the next row also 3 stitches together. Keep crocheting until 3 stitches together. Pay attention slightly when crocheting here. We do 3 stitches together starting from this stitch, which comes from itself. this stitch, this stitch, this stitch, 3 stitches together, then 2 single crochets, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see it clearly? After 3 stitches together, 2 single crochets, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our half double crochets and double crochets. Then we can see this is the back stitch. This stitch corresponds exactly to the middle stitch of our 3 double crochets. The middle stitch of the 3 double crochets is normal. We also increase stitches here to make 3. For the following stitches, just follow this pattern to crochet. You'll definitely increase stitches every time you reach this point, and then definitely decrease stitches every time you reach this point. And finally it will form the shape you want. This is the crocheting method for the hem, which is actually quite simple. Next, I'll explain the crocheting method for the lace trim on the hem of this sweater. When you crochet to the green or red yarn, after finishing, just start with a chain stitch from any point. Then use white yarn to work single crochets first. We work 1 single crochet in each stitch. Keep crocheting until we reach the very tip of the lace. Okay, we've crocheted to this point. This very top part. First, work 1 single crochet, then make 2 chain stitches. Then work 1 treble crochet in the same stitch. Then there will be another bigger hole here. Work half double crochets in this hole. Incomplete half double crochets, we work 6 of them. Yarn over and pull through, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you feel it's not firm enough, you can add more. The effect of my 6 looks like this. I think it's good enough. Then pull through all the loops at once. Then slip stitch directly into the next stitch. Then adjust it. Okay, turn it over, and you get a little ball. Then continue with normal single crochets. Keep working single crochets until you reach the next pointed shape. Then continue making another little ball like this. And this is how our lace trim looks. Yes, because after we complete this pattern, we should also work the puff stitch pattern on the opposite side. Let me demonstrate for you, since I've already worked a round of half double crochets here. This side has already been completed with 1 round, so I've already completed 4 rows here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, I'll work with white yarn, and after finishing white, it'll be this blue. Same here, I've got 3 rows completed. Then I'll work 1 round while finishing the edge. First, let me show you how to insert the hook at this spot. Take our red yarn and insert the hook under the arm position. Bring the yarn through. Then start with 2 chain stitches. Work a half double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, this is our first stitch. Then the rest is pretty simple. Just work the corresponding stitches. Mainly this part where we added 6 rows of half double crochets on the back body. Let me demonstrate how to find the stitch of the half double crochet. After we finish that, we'll insert the hook first. Our principle is to work 2 half double crochets per row, so we find the hole positions. For example, now we're working this row, which has 2 stitch positions. Here and here, we'll insert the hook here first. Bring the yarn through and work a half double crochet. Okay, now we'll insert the hook here again. So basically we work 2 rows in the middle. And here you can see the next row has 1 stitch right here. Can you see it clearly? Then there's 1 stitch here, and the next row also has 1 stitch here. Either here or here works. Just find 2 stitch positions for each row, making sure we have 2 half double crochets per row. After you work up to this point, or actually as long as your half double crochet is positioned correctly, it shouldn't stretch your yarn too much. It shouldn't pull it apart or squeeze it together. As long as the position fits properly, it's fine. After you complete this stitch, check the next stitch. I see a hole right here, so I'll insert the hook there. Pull the yarn through. You can check each stitch one by one. Make sure both sides of the sleeves have the same number of stitches. If not, adjust by adding or subtracting stitches as needed. Okay, after I finish this stitch, let me check again. Actually, I see holes here, here, and here. So I'll definitely hook this stitch first. Okay, then this one here. Alright, now we've reached the increase stitch we just hooked. This hole is bigger, but we only hook 1 stitch, because if we hook too many, it will pull apart and look messy. After we finish this stitch, we'll hook the next one. Good, that's it, we only hook 1 stitch here. From now on it's very simple. Just find the corresponding stitch and hook it. Once we complete this row of half double crochets, then we'll switch to white, and after finishing white, we'll move to blue. It's the same pattern. Once the pattern is completed, then we'll normally hook the red part back and forth. Okay, I'll explain again when there are changes later. Next, we'll hook our sleeves. Our sleeves are 2 different mismatched sleeves. This side is white and green, joining together, and for red it would be white and red, joining together. Then at the cuffs, I added a row of yellow yarn, pom-poms to make it more lively. Then it's a big lantern sleeve. And the other half is a solid color, in my case, I'm using green. For red, we'll use red yarn, meaning the entire sleeve will be one solid color, while this one is a color block design. The stitch technique is actually the same, we just switched to a different color yarn. Now I'll demonstrate the sleeve stitch pattern for you, which is actually the same as the main part. Since we're making a lantern sleeve, the overall armhole is worked even without increasing or decreasing, or if your armhole starts with more than 100 stitches, you can decrease at the underarm until reaching 100 stitches. Decrease 1 stitch per row, 1 stitch per row, until you reach 100 stitches. Then you can start working even without increasing or decreasing. A 100 stitch armhole is quite suitable, and the lantern sleeve will look better when crocheted this way. Let me demonstrate the stitch technique again for you. We're using half double crochets throughout. The joined yarn should be hidden underneath. Work half double crochets, and remember to turn after each row connection. We're essentially working connected flat pieces, meaning flat crochet, but connecting each row and each round. This stitch pattern is the same as the main part, all half double crochets. Now, if your armhole has more than 100 stitches, we'll need to do some decreasing. Decreasing is always done at the underarm position, including when you first cast on, meaning when starting the sleeve, you also begin from the underarm. This way, all connection points are at the underarm, which will look neater and more tidy when covered. For example, now that I've crocheted down to the underarm, let me show you how to decrease. To decrease, you yarn over, pull through the loop, and wrap around. Wrap it like this. Yarn over, work a half double crochet but leave it incomplete. Then skip the next stitch and pull through directly. Now there are 4 loops on the hook, pull through all at once, that's the decrease. Decrease 1 stitch every row until reaching 100 stitches. Then continue working even with half double crochets without increasing or decreasing. This is the crocheting method for the sleeve. Now we need to switch colors. Having worked 6 rows, I alternated 6 rows of green, 6 white, 6 green, 6 white. Then switch until the end, down to the armhole closing point. I'll demonstrate how to close the sleeve later. And also how to make those little pom-poms. Now we'll work normally. Continue crocheting until reaching the armhole area for demonstration.